Hi, so a very good and warm welcome, everybody. Good afternoon to you all. And for our English speakers, I realized last time it wasn't really clear what our name meant, so I took the liberty to add that to our little slide here. So doen participaties literally means to do ventures, which is what we do. What we also do is what we do it for is also on this slide, which is building a green society. Then in the program it says I would be talking about investing in impact startups. Well, that's all nice, and we have showcases coming up. But then I thought I might take the liberty to tell you about one of the smart green unicorns, which isn't here at Ecosummit, which a lot of people don't know about actually that they exist, which is very strange in my opinion. So that's why I want to tell you a little bit about it. These are the 4 founders of that very smart green unicorn I'll be telling you about. And as you realize, looking by this picture, this isn't going to be the next big thing at this very moment. Then again, in 1989, it was going to be the next big thing. That's what these 4 founders knew, even though if you would look at what they were doing, what their composure was, you would think it would be the start of a bad joke, really. So one of them was a priest, the other one was a CD salesman, a 4th one was an activist, and then the 4th one was a bookkeeper, sorry. And then I'll leave it to you to guess who of them was selling CDs. These founders were driven by a mission. They wanted to plant a tree that grew money. They weren't as tech savvy as entrepreneurs are nowadays, so they couldn't just develop such a tree. Instead, they had the worthwhile idea to actually start a subscription-based lottery. So now everybody sort of knows where I'm heading at. You'd probably call that a lottery as a service nowadays. But they still needed to give it a shape or a form or really bring it to life, make it personal. They figured it would be a good idea as a first business model to use everybody's phone number, a home phone number, no mobile phones, they weren't present at the time. And then they would use the awesome marketing power of the Fabeltjeskrant, the Daily Fable. Well, obviously this was a good point for them to make a small pivot towards probably another model for a lottery. This is also the time when postcodes were just being introduced, which is something which you can't really imagine nowadays. But they saw in this a great opportunity. For one, if you use postcodes to actually be used as lottery numbers, that would mean people living in the same postcode, they would win together. That's a very social thing to do, so they thought that would be a good idea. And then they got in contact with the Dutch National Post Service, and they actually convinced them of the fact that using a postcode lottery as an instrument to promote the use of postcodes would be a very good idea. And being just a startup, they did just that, and in return they got from the Dutch Postcode Lottery 15 million mailings for free, which was an awesome feat. It also meant that the National Postcode Lottery was born, and with that they bootstrapped the entire company. Going from there, they decided they needed to go big, go on TV, which was very difficult for them because they didn't have any money, but with a lot of business spunk and actually a whole lot more bluff, they got the first show on primetime TV, raised a lot of money with that show, and this was your textbook example of an inflection point. From there on, there was no stopping this roller coaster ride, and it was an awesome success. Looking where we are nowadays, 25 years later, we have this guy running around the streets here in Amsterdam handing out $1 billion of prizes, but even more important, the holding company of the Postcode Lottery is the largest fundraising donor in the world. Every year they hand out 600 million euros to charities and have a turnover of over $1 billion. Now, why am I telling you all of this? Stichting Doen itself was founded by the lotteries, and inspired by those founders, we also have an impact investment arm to have new founders bring their radical ideas to life. Quick to tell you what exactly this is what we do. We are impact first, which means that we look for entrepreneurs who are innovative in a sustainable and social manner. We are early stage, so we get in early, often as the first external investor with tickets between 50 and 500K. As a value add, we offer a network which we've built in 25 years of impact investing. We also have access to considerable communication power, which also helps bringing your product to market. We have a portfolio of roughly 150 million, which needs to be reinvested whenever we exit. And it consists of 58 investments altogether, some of which are funds. Let's see, here we go. Well, that's about all I have to tell. And I think it's more inspiring to listen to the startups we have to showcase this very moment. So I'll leave that to them. Thank you.